Hey there, everyone. Welcome back for another deep dive
Oh, yeah.
into some really cool English vocabulary and idioms.
I love this stuff.
Yeah. So whether you're getting ready for a big presentation,
Hmm.
or just love learning new words,
Right.
we've got a great lineup for you today. We'll be
Mm.
exploring bustling, take the bull by the horns, run out of, and a slang word that I really love, which is skeeve.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, it's so fun to say. And by the end of this episode, deep dive, you'll be able to spice up your conversations and impress your friends.
Guaranteed.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Yeah, and I think what you'll find is that these words are more than just, vocabulary. They offer these little glimpses into history and culture and even psychology.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
So let's kick things off with bustling.
Mhm.
Imagine walking through a crowded market during the holidays, with sights and sounds and smells all around you.
Love it.
Yeah, and that feeling,
Mm.
that's bustling.
It's not just being busy, though.
Yeah,
Bustling has this kind of connotation of excitement,
right.
some positive energy.
Yeah.
Think of a street fair versus a traffic jam.
Cool.
Both are busy, but only one is truly bustling.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
And our source material actually gives us this example sentence. The bustling city street was teeming with activity as people hurried to their destinations.
that's perfect.
Yeah, and the word's origin actually emphasizes that sense of energy.
It does.
Bustling comes from the Old Norse word bustle, which means noise or bustle.
How about that?
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's amazing how, a word can carry its history
Right.
within its meaning.
Absolutely. It's like words aren't just labels, they're these little time capsules
Mhm.
carrying stories and cultural nuances.
Yeah.
So to really remember bustling, think of your own bustling scene,
Okay.
like your favorite cafe packed with people, maybe
I like it.
each engrossed in their own conversations or their books.
Yeah. And to add to your vocabulary toolbox,
Yeah.
remember synonyms like lively, vibrant, and animated?
Well, those are good.
Yeah.
Now you're ready to paint any scene with that energetic buzz.
I love it.
Speaking of energy and action, let's move on to an idiom that embodies those qualities. Take the bull by the horns. Our source gives us the example. When faced with the daunting task of leading the team through a complex project, Jane decided to take the bull by the horns to ensure its success.
Wow. Jane is someone who does not shy away from a challenge.
Right.
This idiom, it really highlights that proactive,
Uh-huh.
almost fearless attitude.
It does.
It's not about being reckless, but
Right.
it's about stepping up,
Mhm.
taking charge, and making things happen.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And the imagery is so powerful.
Yeah.
I think it likely comes from agricultural societies where
Uh,
handling bulls was a risky business.
you got it.
You had to be so brave and skillful to grab a bull by the horns.
And this idiom reminds me of that growth mindset concept.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
People who take the bull by the horns, they often believe that they can develop their abilities and overcome obstacles rather than avoiding them.
That's an interesting connection. It's like the idiom isn't just about facing the challenge,
Hmm.
but about believing in your ability to handle it.
You got it.
I think everyone has experienced that
Ah.
moment where they've had to take the bull by the horns.
Totally.
I know I have.
Yeah.
And speaking of tackling things head on, here are some related expressions. Take charge, confront, and get a grip on.
Those are great.
Yeah, add those to your vocabulary arsenal.
I like it. Now, from facing challenges to facing scarcity,
Ooh, good transition.
let's look at the phrasal verb run out of. Our source provides the simple example. By the end of the week, we had run out of milk, showing the necessity of a trip to the grocery store.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. That universal feeling of, uh-oh, we need more.
Right.
It really highlights this idea of scarcity.
It does.
Run suggests movement and consumption, while out of implies exhaustion or depletion.
It's a simple phrase,
It is.
but so effective at
Yeah.
communicating that idea
Yeah.
of something being completely gone.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how just those two words together create a more nuanced meaning.
I know.
For all you visual learners out there, imagine your resources running a race until they reach the finish line.
Okay.
Completely used up.
Yeah.
That's running out of,
Love that analogy.
thanks.
Yeah.
And if you want to switch it up, synonyms like deplete, exhaust, and use up work perfectly.
Oh, those are perfect.
Speaking of things disappearing, let's add a dash of mischief to our vocabulary with this slang word, skive. This one has a very British feel to it,
It does.
and it's all about avoiding work or responsibilities, often with a touch of slyness.
I love it.
Think of it as the art of strategically ducking out of obligations.
It is.
Our example paints a clear picture. Rather than attending class, Tom chose to skive off and spend the afternoon in the park.
Tom's a master skiver.
He is, and this word has such a fascinating history,
It does.
that reflects its meaning. It likely has roots in military slang, suggesting a clever way to avoid unwanted duties.
How about that?
That makes total sense. It has that sense of playful rebellion. I wonder if there are similar slang words in other cultures for that playful avoidance of work.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't know. It would be interesting to explore how different cultures express that concept of shirking responsibilities with a wink and a nod.
Exactly.
It speaks to the creativity of language.
It does.
And how it adapts to different social contexts.
I love how exploring just one word can lead to so many intriguing questions.
Me too.
To round out your skiving vocabulary, remember synonyms like shirk, duck, dodge, and avoid.
Those are good ones.
But skiving has that extra layer of playful slyness, would you say?
Absolutely.
It's not just about avoiding work.
Mm-hmm.
It's about doing it with a certain finesse and a touch of humor.
Yeah, it's like a linguistic high five to those who appreciate a bit of creative rule bending.
I love that. So from the energetic bustling to the courageous taking the bull by the horns and the cheeky skive, we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have, and we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to uncover in this vast and ever-evolving world of English vocabulary and idioms.
You're right. There's always something new to discover. A new word to add to our repertoire.
Yeah.
A new idiom to decode.
I love it.
But for now, we'll leave you with these 4 gems to ponder and play with.
Get it.
Try incorporating them into your conversations and see how they add a touch of vibrancy and depth to your language.
It'll be fun. Welcome back to our linguistic adventure. We're going to dive deeper into the nuances of English vocabulary and idioms.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
It's so fun.
It is. Exploring those hidden gems that, add color and depth to our language.
Exactly. And today we're going to uncover a few more.
Ooh, except
of
those linguistic treasures.
Okay, I'm ready.
Get ready for serendipity.
Oh.
Ubiquitous, ephemeral.
Nice.
Bite the bullet.
Okay.
And let the cat out of the bag.
Ooh, I love serendipity.
It is a great word.
It's such a beautiful word, and it makes me think of happy accidents and unexpected moments of good fortune.
It's like the universe has a plan,
Oh.
even when we don't.
Right.
Imagine stumbling upon a rare book in a dusty antique shop, or connecting with someone who becomes a lifelong friend, all through these unplanned events.
Yeah.
Those are moments of pure serendipity.
It's almost like magic.
It is.
And speaking of things that seem to be everywhere, let's talk about ubiquitous. You mentioned you were prepping for a presentation.
Right.
I bet you could work this one in.
Totally.
Okay.
Ubiquitous describes something that's so common that it's almost become part of the landscape.
Right.
Think of smartphones, social media.
Even coffee shops on every corner.
They're everywhere.
They have become ubiquitous in our modern world.
It's interesting how something can be both everywhere and yet easily overlooked.
Right.
It's like the background noise of our lives.
It is.
But speaking of things that are fleeting, let's move on to ephemeral. This word always evokes a sense of bittersweet beauty for me.
It's a beautiful word.
It is. It's like a blooming flower that lasts only a day.
Ephemeral captures those things that are transient or short-lived. A shooting star.
Oh, yeah.
A rainbow. Even a feeling of pure joy.
Wow.
They all have that ephemeral quality.
Yeah, they do.
They remind us to cherish the present moment.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because some things are meant to be fleeting.
They are.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful reminder to appreciate the beauty around us, even if it's temporary.
Yeah.
And speaking of moments that require us to face something head on, let's dive into this idiom, bite the bullet. This one is all about, confronting a difficult situation with courage and determination. It's about steeling yourself for something unpleasant.
It is.
Like having a tough conversation or tackling a dreaded task.
Right.
It's kind of like taking the bull by the horns, but maybe with less physical danger.
Right. Less physical danger, but definitely some emotional danger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Both idioms emphasize that proactive approach to challenges.
Right.
But bite the bullet seems more about enduring something unpleasant,
Yeah.
whereas take the bull by the horns suggests more taking control.
I see what you mean. It's fascinating how two idioms can share a similar theme,
Yeah.
but still have those